Bassirou Diomaye Faye is a name many of us may not have heard of so far. But now it is all set to go down in the history books. The 44-year-old opposition candidate in Senegal is set to become the youngest elected president in the African continent. He is set to take oath as the next Senegalese president. But the man who now has thousands of supporters rallying behind him was behind bars until 2 weeks before the March 24th election. He was arrested on charges of spreading misinformation and defamation. Then, what changed? And how did a political prisoner turn into a president-elect? Well, here's your answer. Faye is a close aide of firebrand leader Ousmane Sonko. Sonko's own bid to contest the presidential polls ended with a conviction in a defamation case, and his political party, the Patriots of Senegal or PASTEF, was dissolved for staging anti-government protests. Sonko then stepped aside and threw his weight behind Faye, which in turn helped him win. According to provisional results, Faye has secured more than 53% of the votes across 90% of polling stations. He has vowed to govern the country with humility and transparency.
The Senegalese people have chosen to break with the past, to give substance to the immense hopes raised by our vision of society. I hope that our vision of society has given substance to their aspirations. I pledge to govern with humility and transparency and to fight corruption at all levels. I pledge to devote myself fully to rebuilding our institutions and strengthening the foundations of our way of life together.
During his campaign, Faye promised to weed out corruption and restore economic stability in Senegal. He has also assured the citizens that the new Senegalese government will review the country's ties with its former colonial ruler, France.
I would like to say to the international community and to our bilateral and multilateral partners that Senegal will always hold its ground and remain a friendly country and a reliable ally to any partner who engages with us in virtuous, respectful, and mutually productive cooperation.
Faye was congratulated by his biggest rival, the ruling coalition's candidate Amadou Ba. Ba conceded defeat after initially downplaying Faye's lead in the polls. The 62-year-old former prime minister, who was backed by the outgoing president Macky Sall, received a little over 36% of the votes.
Congratulations once again to President Diomaye Faye. I wish him every success at the helm of our country. May God accompany him as he carries out his mission for the greatness of our nation and the well-being of our population.
Faye's victory follows months of unrest and chaos in Senegal, as Senegalese citizens, including Sonko's supporters, have been staging massive protests against President Sall.
This election took place in a context marked by a pre-electoral crisis that cost lives, left many injured, and saw many patriots imprisoned. We intend to turn this page, to reconcile hearts, to reconcile the Senegalese people, and to set to work tirelessly to mark and realize the hopes raised by my election and the project I am carrying forward.
The protesters accused Sall's government of corruption and failing to address chronic poverty. What fueled the protests further was Sall's bid to delay the presidential election that was originally scheduled for February 25th. Sall wanted to postpone the election by 10 months, a move that was vehemently opposed by the citizens and blocked by the country's top court.
We gave him our votes so he could be elected. He has forgotten everything. He does whatever he wants with this country. He oppresses us with force. There is only injustice.
Now, Sall has promised to hand over the country's reins to his successor peacefully, aligning himself with the long-standing history of the peaceful transition of power that Senegal has followed since its independence in 1960. Faye's victory is being seen as a mark of Senegal's democratic resilience. The country is part of the West African region, a region that has witnessed as many as 8 military coups since 2020. But Senegal has always been, and continues to be, an outlier. Now, even though Faye has managed to emerge victorious, he has a lot on his plate. Faye will have to battle Senegal's unemployment rate, which has soared to more than 20%. Many also hope that he will bring stability and an economic boost to the country after years of financial hardship and turmoil.